Many people believe that high cholesterol appears only due to genetics or age, but the truth is that many of the foods you eat every day may be silently increasing your risk of a heart attack. The biggest danger is that these habits go unnoticed, and when symptoms appear, it's often already too late. Today you will discover which diet mistakes really matter and why every detail on your plate makes a difference. Get ready, because some of these mistakes are so common that you probably have no idea they're linked to high cholesterol. And when you realize how small food choices directly affect your cardiovascular health, you'll start seeing your routine in a completely different way. Stay with me, because in the next topic I'll give you, straight to the point, a practical explanation of how your diet is affecting your cholesterol right now. How diet affects your cholesterol and your heart. Cholesterol isn't a villain by itself. It's essential for the body to function. The problem begins when certain foods stimulate the liver to produce more bad cholesterol than necessary, while other foods prevent the body from eliminating it. This combination creates a dangerous environment in the arteries, favoring the buildup of plaque that restricts blood flow. That's why understanding the impact of diet is the first step to protecting your heart. Even foods considered harmless can directly contribute to increasing cholesterol, especially when combined daily. Small choices repeated for years can silently raise your risk of heart attack. Now that you understand the basics of how food affects your body, let's move on to the first mistake many people make without noticing, one that might be happening in your routine right now. If this content is helping you, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more guidance that can improve your health. Mistake 1. Excess saturated fats that go unnoticed. The first mistake that raises cholesterol without you realizing it is the frequent consumption of saturated fats hidden in everyday foods. Fatty meats, yellow cheeses, butter, and even certain homemade dishes can significantly raise LDL cholesterol. The danger is that many of these choices seem normal or even traditional, but their effects accumulate over the years, making the arteries narrower and more rigid. This silent process sets the stage for serious heart complications. In addition, common preparations such as fried foods or very greasy dishes increase this impact even more without immediate signs. The result is an imbalance that overloads the heart and accelerates plaque formation. In the next topic, you'll discover a second, even trickier mistake: the consumption of sugar and refined carbohydrates. Something many people have no idea also interferes with cholesterol. Mistake 2. Hidden sugar and refined carbohydrates that inflame your arteries. The second mistake is underestimated by almost everyone: excess sugar and refined carbohydrates such as white bread, cakes, pasta, and cookies. These foods cause spikes in blood glucose, increasing triglycerides and encouraging fat buildup in the artery walls. Even people who don't eat sweets often consume more sugar than they realize, since it's hidden in sauces, juice boxes, and even savory foods. This constant intake triggers a dangerous inflammatory process in the body. Over time, this inflammation makes blood vessels more vulnerable to plaque buildup, directly increasing the risk of a heart attack. The body tries to handle this excess, but ends up overwhelmed, and bad cholesterol takes over. What's most surprising is that this process can occur even in those who believe they have a balanced diet. In the next topic, you'll learn about another common and silent error: the impact of ultra-processed foods on cholesterol. Stay with me, because understanding this completely changes the way you look at what you eat. Mistake 3. Ultra-processed foods and their silent impact on cardiovascular health. The third mistake is the frequent consumption of ultra-processed foods, which seem practical and tasty, but contain a dangerous combination of unhealthy fats, sugar, additives, and excess sodium. These products, such as processed meats, chips, fast food, sandwich cookies, and ready-made meals, deeply alter metabolism, stimulating the rise of LDL cholesterol and lowering HDL, the good cholesterol. The illusion of convenience makes these foods part of the routine without the person noticing the impact on the heart. Many ultra-processed foods also contain artificial fats that inflame the body and speed up plaque development in the arteries. They act silently, affecting circulation and increasing insulin resistance, opening the door to even more serious problems. In the next topic, you'll discover the fourth mistake, something so simple yet so overlooked, that may be silently sabotaging your efforts to control cholesterol. Before we move on, leave your like and subscribe to the channel, because here you learn, directly and clearly, everything that truly protects your health. Mistake 4. Lack of fiber and its effect on your cholesterol. The fourth mistake is low fiber intake, one of the most overlooked factors when talking about cholesterol. Soluble fiber, found in foods like oats, fruits, legumes, and beans, works like a sponge, helping trap some of the cholesterol in the intestine and eliminating it before absorption. When fiber is missing in the diet, the body loses this natural defense, allowing bad cholesterol to circulate freely and accumulate in the arteries. It's a simple detail, but it makes a huge difference over the years. Another key point is that fiber helps control blood sugar, preventing spikes that stimulate the liver to produce even more fat. Without enough fiber, the body becomes vulnerable to inflammation, weight gain, and a continuous rise in cholesterol. In the next topic, you'll understand how these 4 mistakes together create a much more serious scenario than it seems, and can accelerate the risk of a silent heart attack. Stay with me, because now the connection between these factors will become even clearer. How these 4 mistakes accelerate heart attack risk without symptoms. When these 4 mistakes combine, excess saturated fats, hidden sugar, ultra-processed foods, and lack of fiber, the body enters a state of continuous inflammation. The arteries begin to accumulate plaque rapidly, making it harder for blood to pass and forcing the heart to work harder. The problem is that this process is silent. No pain, no noticeable changes, just normal routine while the risk grows day by day. It's exactly this lack of symptoms that makes heart attacks so unpredictable. Over time, these plaques can rupture, creating clots that completely block circulation. This is the critical moment when a heart attack happens, often without warning. Understanding this connection helps you see food not as an isolated factor, but as a chain of choices that directly affects your life. In the next topic, you'll discover how to reverse this process with simple and effective changes to begin lowering cholesterol today. What to eat daily to lower cholesterol effectively. To start reversing high cholesterol, it's essential to include foods that truly help the body clear excess circulating fat. Fruits like apples, pears, and oranges offer powerful soluble fibers, while vegetables, leafy greens, and whole grains strengthen artery health. Omega-3 rich fish such as sardines and salmon reduce inflammation and improve the balance between good and bad cholesterol. When eaten regularly, these foods transform the internal environment of your body and bring noticeable results within a few weeks. Another key strategy is to replace bad fats with good fats, such as olive oil, avocado, and nuts. These foods help protect artery walls and reduce oxidized LDL, the most dangerous type for the heart. With small adjustments to your meals, you can already see a significant improvement in circulation and cardiovascular health. In the next topic, you'll learn how to organize these choices on your plate in a simple and practical way. Before we continue, leave your like and subscribe so you don't miss content that truly impacts your health. How to build simple meals that protect your heart. Building meals that help reduce cholesterol doesn't need to be complicated. Start by structuring your plate with 3 pillars: fiber, lean protein, and healthy fats. Half the plate should be vegetables, providing essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The other half should be divided between a protein source, such as fish, chicken, or beans, and a whole grain carbohydrate like brown rice or sweet potato. This combination stabilizes blood sugar and reduces liver overload, improving cholesterol balance. A practical suggestion is to plan meals ahead of time to avoid improvising when hunger hits. Keep easy-to-eat fruits at home, like apples and bananas, and a good olive oil for dressings. Include antioxidant-rich foods like tomatoes and turmeric, which help protect arteries from inflammation. In the next topic, you'll understand the mistakes many people make when trying to improve cholesterol, and how to avoid them so you don't sabotage your progress. What comes next may prevent you from going back to square one. Common mistakes when trying to fix cholesterol, and how to avoid them. Many people trying to improve cholesterol fall into traps that end up harming their progress. One common mistake is substituting fatty foods with light or diet products, believing they're automatically healthier. In reality, many of these products contain sugar or additives that can worsen the situation. Another frequent mistake is cutting out fat entirely, a move that is unnecessary and disrupts the body's balance. The secret is not to eliminate fats, but to choose the right ones. Another mistake is relying only on small, sporadic changes, believing they'll be enough. Small adjustments help, but what truly changes cholesterol is consistency. People who make drastic changes for a few days and then return to old habits end up frustrated by the lack of results. In the next topic, you'll understand why the age range between 50 and 80 requires extra caution, and what changes in the body make cholesterol even more dangerous. Stay with me for this essential part. The age factor. Why men and women over 50 need extra attention. After the age of 50, the body's metabolism changes significantly. The liver starts working more slowly, making it easier for bad cholesterol to accumulate in the blood. The arteries also begin losing elasticity, becoming stiffer and more prone to plaque buildup. This makes any dietary excess more impactful than it was years before, increasing the risk of a heart attack even in people who never had heart issues. That's why paying close attention to diet becomes essential at this stage of life. Another important point is that common conditions after age 50, such as hypertension, insulin resistance, and osteoarthritis, raise inflammation in the body, further aggravating high cholesterol. The body no longer compensates for excesses as it once did, and each food choice gains more significance. Understanding these natural changes is crucial to protecting your heart and preventing complications. Before we move to the conclusion, support this content by liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more guidance that helps you live longer and better. The practical plan to protect your heart starting today. Now that you know the 4 most dangerous dietary mistakes for cholesterol, it's clear that small choices have a huge impact on your health. The good news is you don't need extreme measures to start improving your heart today. Replacing ultra-processed foods with fresh foods, increasing fiber intake, reducing saturated fats, and controlling sugar already put you on the right path. Every adjustment you make on your plate is a direct investment in your longevity. Remember that consistency matters more than extreme changes made for only a few days. Your body responds to what you do repeatedly, which means anyone, even those over 50, can significantly improve cholesterol levels. The plan is simple: consistency, smart choices, and awareness of what really makes a difference. If you've made it this far, you've already taken the most important step: seeking knowledge. Keep applying what you've learned, because your heart thanks you every day.